When he got his little skinny butt fired, that's a southern way of saying fired. He got fired. I think I think he wanted to get fired. He was looking for a way, so screaming at Tony and pushing people and knocking stuff over, that's a good way to do it.
Hello. It is me, your True Hill Phenom, SP3, back once again with a special edition of Smack Talk 4 this week because we got a lot to discuss, some big news. We wanted to focus on the big news and the big show from WWE Fastlane from Indianapolis, Indiana, but we got some big news stories, and first up, we gotta discuss WWE and this kind of momentum shift that we have been seeing as of late with major AEW stars going over to WWE or returning to WWE, whether it be Cody Rhodes in 2022 or Jade Cargill being announced to go to WWE, signing with them. Now CM Punk is in the headlines, Dutch Mantell, and
I predicted that.
You did. I was going to set you up. I was going to give you credit.
Okay. Hey, people, just forget you heard that. I want to hear the setup. Go ahead.
I was going to say that our good friend, legendary manager, wrestler extraordinaire, Dutch Mantell, is also a prophet, because he came up with the expert conspiracy theory that CM Punk wanted to get out of his AEW contract, and when he did, he would show back up in WWE. So it is no coincidence that Dave Meltzer in the Wrestling Observer newsletter has reported that CM Punk intends on returning to WWE and is in talks with the promotion. Meanwhile, Fightful Select has reported that yes, there has been talks, but no deal has been completed, and that CM Punk would have to do a lot of work as far as mending fences with the top stars of WWE, in particular Roman Reigns and CM Punk, the current top champions of the promotion, to come back into the fold. So what do you think about all of this? And also, Fightful Select made me look like a prophet, Dutch Mantell, because they did say basically that if this was just on Vince McMahon decision, CM Punk would be returning. But it is not just on Vince McMahon anymore, and that's why the ball, they feel, is in WWE's court more than in CM Punk's court.
Well, it started out several months ago with that little bitty tape in the parking lot. I think it was at LA or wherever it was.
In Chicago. Yeah.
Chicago, sorry. And he was talking to Tamina, and this is allegedly from a fan camera, which it could have been. But I'm thinking, it looks kind of weird for CM Punk to be standing around in the middle of the parking lot, not even close to a door, not even close to the edge of the parking lot, but he was talking to Tamina, then she disappeared. Apparently he asked her, was somebody here or something? And I'm thinking, that's a good way to get rumors started, which I love stuff like that anyway. So, and then he was told to leave because of legal matters, which was good. And then when he got his little skinny butt fired, that's a southern way of saying fired. He got fired. I think he wanted to get fired. He was looking for a way, so screaming at Tony and pushing people and knocking stuff over, that's a good way to do it. So, and this was all done. I don't think it was done on spur of the moment either. I think he was instructed to do that by his attorney. Then they just said, well, it might be the best way just to part ways. But he had already laid the groundwork down to go back to WWE, which I think in WWE's case is a win-win situation. Because he was over in AEW. And I was there actually when he quit, the day he quit. Because I remember standing outside. Vince has an office somewhere in the middle of not the concourse, but the hallway. And he was in there, and I was trying to get in to see Vince about this brilliant idea I'd had. But I didn't get in all day long because CM Punk had him tied up all day. And I went, well, damn, how long does it take to... I thought he was going to give an idea too. I didn't know he was in there quitting. And then when I left that night, it trickles out, Punk's gone, this, that, and the other. But I think it's a win-win for Punk. It's a win-win for WWE. And I don't even know if it's that big a loss for AEW. I don't think they knew what to do with him. I really don't. So now that Edge goes over, we'll see. Now, where were they when Edge debuted?
They were in Seattle, Washington.
Okay. But one side of the whole arena was kind of not filled up, right?
I think so. Like the hard camera side.
Well, but we'll see if they know what to do with Edge. Now, Edge's interview was very good because he went out and he laid those names one by one and then gave it time to breathe. People said, that would be a good matchup. Then he said MJF, that would be good. Moxley, oh yeah. Then he kept naming them, which he named enough opponents, hell to last them almost a year. So when you have that type of anticipation, and we'll see what they do with it. So I predicted it, like Sid said, so I'm Nostradamus here. And how long ago did we predict this? What, 3 months?
Yeah, you said this around the time that he left AEW, so about a month ago. I do gotta call you out though.
Here we go.
By saying that you don't think AEW knew what to do with CM Punk, you were kind of saying that they didn't do anything with him when they had him, but you didn't really watch, so I can't ask you didn't think anything was good when you saw with CM Punk and AEW.
It was good, but I'm gonna say it was in the flavor of like so-so stuff. It's what I thought.
I thought the MJF feud was CM Punk's best work of his career.
May have been. So how long did they work together though?
They worked together for about like 4 months, 3-4 months, from November of 2021 to March of 2022.
And I'm not taking away anything from anybody's work, but only one thing would have helped that angle. You know what it is?
What?
If I've been involved in it somewhere.
I knew you were gonna make it about yourself. Nah.
If they'd have tied me in it as the cornerstone of it, we'd have set records.
I think that it's pretty much a case of CM Punk, the same situation he ran into in WWE. He ran into a situation where backstage became the bigger thing than what was going on TV. I think they knew what to do with CM Punk. They presented him very well. His build to becoming AEW World Champion was very well done and led to the biggest business of the company, their biggest buy rate, their biggest gate that they ever did for Double or Nothing 2022. But it was like a double-edged sword. That led to the big business, but once they put the title on CM Punk, it became like too much power or too much pressure, and stuff like the Hangman promo got to him, and stuff like, being injured and feeling like they wanted him to come back too early, or stuff that was said in rumors about Colt Cabana being off TV and that being because of CM Punk and him thinking the EVPs are responsible for that. It became compound. It was like one thing after another started getting to him once he got the title. So I don't know if it was the power or the pressure. I do know when he returned after the All Out thing, it was the power. The power got to him, because when you're telling the head of talent relations to not be backstage, you have too much power here.
Well, maybe so, but everything that happened was compounded by what had happened right before. and then it built and built and built. I've said the whole time, the best angles in wrestling for the past 3 or 4 months have been backstage. I mean, that's much better than what they did in the ring, because now you're talking money. You're talking actual money. So, and apparently money doesn't mean anything to Punk, because he's got that WWE connection. So he can just hop over at any time. But this took a lot of legal maneuvering, and they were back and forth and back and forth. So, but I think he got in AEW, and he got too much power with the Disney people. He was the reason
Warner Brothers.
AEW, Warner Brothers. Punk was the reason they got that.
Well, the second time, actually it's their third deal. Their third deal where they got extended. Yeah, it was because of Punk.
So now when Punk left, let me ask you this. So you're good at remembering things. I can't remember yesterday at 5 o'clock. I don't know what happened. But how did Warner Brothers how did they take Punk's absence? How did they respond to that?
Apparently, Tony Khan had advisors from Warner Brothers, or talked to Warner Brothers before making the decision to let Punk go, and they're still in a good place with Warner Brothers Discovery for now. I don't know. I think that it's been a safe bet that they're going to get a new deal. Their deal got extended with the addition of Collision, so it now expires next year in 2024. But they're going to be looking to get that $1 billion TV deal that they've been aiming for. So it's going to look like the next couple of months of ratings and what they do for pay-per-views is going to be kind of the test for them. But having All In Wembley Stadium, setting that all-time record, their second biggest pay-per-view buy rate. Then they followed up a week later with All Out that did 100 pay-per-view buys, and now Wrestle Dream that just passed did
100,000 or 100.
Excuse me, 100,000. I'm sorry. I just always say the first figure and forgot the extra zeros, but 100,000 buys All Out 2023 did, and then Wrestle Dream that just passed just a month later did 135,000 buys. So their pay-per-view buys are looking good, and it's looking like they're going to get a new deal with Warner Brothers Discovery and Max to do pay-per-views on there, and they're going to 12 pay-per-views a year next year.
I got to tell you this story. When I was at TNA, we have a pay-per-view. Then we'd have a meeting, I don't know, the middle of the next week. By that time, the pay-per-view buy rates are in, but we never got them. Dixie, God bless her, she'd stand up and she says, well, the buy rates were up 10%. And I'm going, 10% from what? I mean, if you had 100 buys and it's up at 10%, well, now you got 110 buys. That didn't really tell you anything. And I'm going to tell you what, if the government ever wants to know how to keep a secret, put in that TNA office, because they locked that down somewhere in the back and nobody is opening that vault. I don't care what they got. So we used to sit back and say, I wonder what it was. And if one of the guys would ask us, how'd the buy rate do? We go, it did good. We sound like morons, complete morons. But anyway, that's what I had to deal with at TNA. So, and I don't know why she kept it so secret. I do not know. Even Jeff used to tell me. I don't even know if he had the buy rates or not. He was one of the owners. So I'm thinking, hell, if they're keeping it for him, hell, I'm now embarrassed to even ask about it. So I never did ask about it. So that's what I dealt with there, other than the times I was in catering a lot. So continue.
Well,
hey, let me ask you this. This is what I think our show should be. Is almost like we're getting in the car, me and you, and we hadn't seen each other. We hadn't talked in a week or two anyway. Yeah. But I'm saying, what did Edge's viewership when he appeared for the first time? What did he? What was the viewership? Wasn't he down to 360?
No, it did 800,000 for the Dynamite.
Okay,
episode.
which one did 360? Was that Collision?
I think that was the Fast Nationals, where it's like 360 for Collision, but the actual rating comes out later today after we're recording. So we don't know. We don't know the actual.
Pre-estimates say 400, but we're going to wait for it. And it's all over the place. Hell, just make
exactly. That's why I always.
Good.
When you said that, I was like, nah, the actual rating comes out later. It didn't come out. That's the Fast Nationals. I never listened to that because it's always up by like 20-30% from there, and I don't like to do math, so I'll just wait till the real rating comes out. But it was low because it went against WWE Fastlane.
Okay, who is AEW bringing in? Aren't they bringing in Goldberg?
I don't think it's a thing of AEW needing to bring someone in. It's just the trend right now. WWE is unbelievably hot. And that leads me to the question about what we're talking about here with CM Punk. Do you risk what's going on with WWE, where they are up in business on every single metric? There is a good morale backstage, a good type of camaraderie going on backstage. That's what people kept talking about during the press conference at Fastlane. Do you threaten that with the potential of CM Punk, where CM Punk has not only done this in AEW recently, this is the whole reason he left in the beginning, and it had to do with the person who's in charge and creative of who he was supposed to face, and he did not want to face him, and he walked out because he felt sick, he felt injured, and he just came off a run where he was very injury prone. Is this a thing that you risk because of the big money potential and all the big money matchups that can happen?
I would risk it. I really would. I think Punk now, he wants to get back in WWE. When he wasn't there, I think he felt left out, forgotten, kind of, if you want to put it like that. But I think it's a great deal for all of them. They are I'm going to bring this up again for the 900th time. Remember when we used to say they have no bench? They have nothing but bench now. That's all they have. And you have to have heels to draw money. If your heels aren't hot, your baby faces aren't hot. So if you look what they got, Roman Reigns, Brock Lesnar, Gunther, and who else has a hot heel over there?
The Judgment Day.
Yeah, they're hot too. So when you got half your card hot, you can just fill in now.